Saturday night is game night for the Cards on the road for a showdown with Wake Forest. We are breaking down the matchup and counting it down to tip-off right now on Inside the Cards. Thank you for joining us on this Saturday morning. I'm Kent Taylor coming to you from inside the Wave Studios. Just 3 games left in the regular season for U of L. One more week on the schedule tonight, the Demon Deacons. This one at Lawrence Joel Memorial Coliseum in Winston-Salem. Game time set for 7 o'clock with TV coverage on the ACC network. And we are joined again this week by U of L interim head coach Mike Pegues. And Coach, a week ago, you got your first win. That had to just pick up spirits all over the building a little bit.
Yeah, it absolutely did. It's been a long road, and was excited to finally get a win and get over the hump against a good Clemson team. Felt bad for Clemson because they lose their best player early in the game, but I certainly felt great about our guys finally having an opportunity to get a win. They earned the right to win. We had some good practices leading up to the Clemson game, and we did some things down the stretch that allowed us to win. It's hard to get a win in this league. It's a tough league, good coaching, good players, and I was excited that our guys were able to do that.
I had a lot of different guys make some plays down the stretch in that. We'll get to that in a second, though, but let's talk about this Wake Forest team. You already played them once. Mm-hmm. Steve Forbes, their coach, they started 11-1, actually came in here 11-1, but only 10-7 since. And when you start with them, you talk about Alondes Williams, the leading scorer in the ACC, almost 20 points a game, and the leader in assists in the league as well.
Yeah, it's never been done before. You think about this league.
That history says something.
Says a lot. Says a lot. I mean, it's been a ton of great players in this conference, and he's the only one right now that's leading the league in scoring and assists. He's a phenomenal talent. He's a first-round pick. He's the guy that we're going to have to deal with and keep him out of the lane and make the game hard for him somehow.
You all did a pretty good job on him in the first game. He was only 4 of 14 from the field, 1 of 6 from 3, and you held him to 14 points.
Yeah, we did. Alondes missed some jump shots that night. He's been shooting the ball better as of late, but we did a pretty good job of keeping him out of the paint. Wake Forest, like a lot of teams, is a ball screen-centric team, so it's not just a one-man job. Our big guys have to be able to hedge ball screens, and it's a concerted effort. All 5 guys have to have eyes on him, and we all have to do the job in terms of keeping him out of the paint and not allowing him to get to the rim, which is what he does best.
Do you address with your team, and do you talk about the tournament implications? I mean, obviously you guys have to win the ACC tournament for anything to happen. But for these teams that you're going to play in this next week, the NCAA tournament is still very much in play for them, and you all beating them would be bad for their resume, especially Wake Forest, a team that was, they're having such a great season. Now they've lost 3 of 4, but they beat Notre Dame, who's maybe the best of the 4 teams they've played. So they're certainly capable of doing some things.
Yeah, so we don't talk about what us winning would do or how that impacts the other team, right? I quite honestly, Ken, I don't care much about the other teams. I just want our team to be prepared to go in there knowing that we can win a game against all of our remaining opponents. We've sharpened up our game plan for Wake Forest tonight, and I just want our guys to go in there and be confident and win the game on the road.
You can't use we could be the spoiler. We could ruin their season.
Yeah,
nothing like that. Okay.
No, not really our motivation. We just want to win a game and gain some momentum going into Brooklyn.
Win another game, because you did win a game. Let's go to that Clemson game last Saturday in the KFC Yum Center. You snapped that streak, and interesting, Malik Williams, in and out of the lineup, hadn't played in some games. You start him.
Start him against Clemson because he's had a couple good days leading up to the Clemson game in practice. His teammates are obviously a big believer in Malik. He's been a leader and a captain for us, and it's good to have him back, and I thought he played well.
You mentioned P.J. Hall not playing against Wake Forest because of this right here. A minute into the game, he turns his ankle and did not return, the leading scorer for the Tigers. Here you go. J.J. Trainer's also been playing some serious minutes. We haven't had you back on since he's gotten back on the court, but he's done some impressive things.
Yeah, it's a great tip dunk right there. J.J.'s an active body, and when he's flying around and playing above the rim, that's certainly good for us. He, in addition to Malik, has some good practices leading up to Clemson. He's been very good the last few weeks, honestly. So he's earned the right to be on the court more, and hopefully he can continue to play well.
Samuel Williamson on the lob from Sidney Curry, and then up 1 at the half. They come out in the second half. My goodness, Chase Hunter with that huge slam down the lane. It looked like, it's 31-28. What's going to happen? How are you guys going to respond? Well, Here, Jared West gets the deflection after the miss, and then Noah Locke for three. And this, you hadn't hit a three yet in the game, and then all of a sudden, just an explosion. Like a minute 45, you hit four.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, we were 0 for 10 in the first half from three, and I believe we made 8 or 9 in the second half. It was great to see the ball finally go in because I thought we took some good threes in the first half. They just didn't go down. So it was great to see guys connect in the second half.
And you know what I saw a lot in this game is your guys coming up with 50-50 balls.
Yeah, that's huge. I mean, you know, that's how you win games, Kent. You got to do the dirty work. You got to do the grimy stuff. You got to win the glass. You got to get the 50-50 balls. And when we've done that, we've had some success, a lot of success, actually. So hopefully we can continue to do that.
That is a 12-0 run that puts you up 40-31. You know, you're going to cruise to a win, right? Nice, easy Saturday in the KFC Yum Center.
Yeah, never
up
that easy.
9. Even still up 9 here after Sidney Curry shows us his jump hook.
Yeah, Sid on that right block in particular, he can really score the ball. You know, he gets to the front of the rim with his left hand. He's very effective when he does that.
Uh-oh, though. Clemson comes back, ties the game at 45. Now we got some serious game pressure here, and Trainer with the tip.
Yeah, again, JJ is a guy that can really play above the rim for us. He's unique in that regard. You know, he's long, he's active, and when he's flying around, he's really good for us.
Noah Locke had himself a second half finish with 15 points in the game. Nice little shot in the lane there. And then, you know, Malik Williams, for all the struggles he's had on and off the court, he made some pretty big plays down the stretch here. A three to put you back up in front 52-50. And that Alamir Dawes, we were talking about him from the other night, but he got hot for them too.
He did. He's a really good player. He's one of the more dynamic guards in the league. He's a great ball handler. I believe a New York City kid, and he handles it like a New York City kid, but he can also really shoot the ball. He's a microwave, and it's good to, you know, contain him a little bit because he can be really explosive for Clemson.
Here's Malik fighting in the lane. This was a big basket in the paint.
Yep.
You were down 1. You see just 6.5 minutes left.
Yep.
And just you know, staying engaged for him, and you know, you like to see him shoot in the paint too.
Yeah, I'd love for Malik to be around the basket more. Again, Malik is not a traditional post player, Ken. He's not a back to the basket guy, but he's 6'10" at the end of the day, and we want him to try to establish deep post position, get on the offensive glass, and convert around the rim a lot more.
So 1-point game here, you're up, and then a big three from Jared West, and we're going to break that one down a little bit more in the next segment. We see Jordan Nwora in the stands, in the Hollywood seats, the NBA champ from the Milwaukee Bucks. All right, here we go. 57-56. So still, you know, this game in doubt. You see under 5 minutes to play, and Jalen Withers with the big corner three, which can do a lot. He's been playing a lot better, too.
Yeah, I like Jalen's corner wide open threes. You know, he's another guy, a lot like Malik, that we need him more in the paint, scoring around the rim. But when he's wide open, especially in the corners, he has a propensity to be able to make that three a little more than the other one. So he's a kid that can do a little bit of both. And again, his bread needs to be buttered in the lane, though.
Well, here he is right here in the lane, coming up with the loose ball and the basket after he had the steal on the other end. And then late in the game, you know, they're putting some pressure on you, and your guys, they didn't just pull it out waiting to win the game. They went and got it, and Noah goes in and scores.
Yeah, El does a great job here of not panicking in the trap. He gets the ball out of the trap. Jalen advances it, and Noah decides to get to the rim. You know, I was a little worried about that attempt, but he was able to get to the basket and finish it, and so we'll take 2 points whenever we can get it.
Okay, so describe to me the feeling. You see Brad Brownell there. You get the handshake as a winner. We see Malik celebrating like that, and you kind of had a message for the fans behind the bench as you were walking off. I mean, this was a long time coming. It's a month. I mean, it's a grind, enough of a grind. But when you're losing and not winning any games, it's tough.
It's tough. It's absolutely tough. It's unprecedented for Louisville basketball, and it was certainly unprecedented for myself as well. You know, our kids, you know, we've been on the front lines and we've been going through it, and it's, you know, it's a lot that unfortunately, you know, goes into that, and people don't see it, you know, and it was a rough time. But again, just really grateful that our guys hung in there and they kept fighting and kept swinging, and we were able to finally get a win. And really thankful.
You can see it coming out.
Yeah, really thankful to our fans. You know, I got some family back there, but really thankful to our fans for sticking with us and showing up. I thought we had a great crowd that Saturday, and they've been through a lot as well. You know, they've been through a lot. You know, Louisville basketball just isn't used to the times that we're in right now, and I'm just immensely grateful that they've stuck around and they've supported us throughout this tough time.
The fans have been, especially since you took over, starting with that Duke game, they've been more they've been pretty invested. I mean, you've had a pretty good home court advantage. Haven't won them all. I mean, even the Miami game was close, but I mean, you're in every game.
Yeah, we've been competitive, and it's good to see that our fans notice and they've stuck with us through the tough times, and they're still there cheering for us and pulling for us. And again, it's Louisville basketball has never experienced anything like this, but it really shows the character of our fan base to continue to come out and support us even through one of the toughest times in Louisville history.
Now, the only bad thing about that win on Saturday was you didn't have a lot of time to celebrate it, did you? Because we just, hey, good, we won. Now we got to go to North Carolina on Monday night.
Right, absolutely. It was, that's one where you wish you had a week off, right? So you can enjoy it. But had to get to Carolina on Monday night, and obviously played hard and played well, but not well enough to pull out a win. But I was proud of our guys for competing the way that they did and giving ourselves a chance to win. But goes without saying, we have to finish the game a lot better than we did.
Well, you take the lead early in the second half here, and boy, Dre Davis, another guy. A lot of these guys, everybody's been kind of playing pretty well over the last couple weeks.
Yeah, let's hope that's a sign of things to come, and we can continue that trend, because when we can get all of these guys playing at their best, that makes us a dangerous team, in my opinion, as we get closer to the ACC tournament.
How about Jalen passing up the three, stepping in and hitting the jumper, and then we got Sid Curry here with the steal, Mason Faulkner with the drive in, and I mean, it's a one-point game. This was there's a lot of back and forth here.
Yeah, love to see Mason in the open court making plays like that. I thought that we were tremendous in transition against Carolina. I actually charted the game, and we were 71% from the floor in transition, so that means we need to get out and run more, but that starts with getting stops on the defensive end.
How about this move by Samuel?
Unbelievable. Tremendous finish. We wanted to isolate Sam on the right block. The kid reached, took himself out of position, and Sam was able to spin and make a fantastic reverse layup.
Here's another corner three for Jalen Withers.
There you go. Something about that corner for Jalen Withers. When he's wide open in the corners, I think that's his sweet spot. Like you said, the pull-up earlier was great because he turned down the three, and we have to be able to get him in the lane more, but I like his corner three as well.
Plays like that, Mason Faulkner, the one-handed pass, the turnover, it's a tie game, all of a sudden you're down two.
That kills you on the road. Mason knows that he has to do a better job of protecting the ball, and unfortunately we give him an easy deuce.
And then Brady Manick with not an easy deuce. He had a pretty good game, 17 points for them, the jumper, but not over because Malik hits the three here, and with 2:56 left in the Dean Smith Center, we've got a one-point game.
One-point game.
But you guys just not able. That was really your only basket in the last couple minutes of the game.
Yeah, and quite honestly, Malik saves the day with that shot. It's a Hail Mary shot, but it goes in. But again, 2-3 minutes to go, down one. We have to put better offensive possessions together down the stretch. Goes without saying. We have to find a way to get the ball in the paint down the stretch, draw fouls, convert baskets like that. We have
I'm not
to be
sure
a
what
team.
happened there, right?
Yeah, I think Malik just loses that. Yeah, he just loses it.
No.
He may have gotten hit. Baycott, gets away with a lot of stuff, but we won't make any excuses about that. But at the end of the day, Kent, our staff, our players, we all have to find a way to get the ball in the paint more, in particular down the stretch. We have to be able to draw some fouls. Our bigger guys, even our guards, have to be able to get in the lane and convert. And then if we spray it out at that point, those generate much higher quality threes once the ball hits the paint. But it starts with getting more paint touches. Not
just settling for threes.
Absolutely.
By the way, that handshake with Hubert Davis, did he say something about the call in the last game?
He actually did. How about that? Were you sitting over there?
No, you can read his lips. He said like it was a bad call or something.
You know what? In our last game, there were some people who felt that I blew Hubert Davis off.
Well, you were mad, right?
And I didn't mean to. I was obviously incensed at the call. They got it. It was a really bad call, as we know. And so I just wanted to make sure Hubert knew that that wasn't personal. And so I told him, I said, hey, I didn't mean to blow you off. He said, you didn't blow me off. You were pissed because you got a raw deal. You got a bad call. So it's nice of him to admit that.
Seems like a good dude.
Yeah, seems like a good guy. That's probably the most I've talked to him ever, but seems like a really good guy, and at least he's a truth teller.
Well, it's an interesting. At least it was a friendly handshake line. We've seen a few this week that didn't go that way for some other teams. Okay, still more to come here on tonight's game against Wake Forest. Plus, Coach Pegues gives us the inside story on our play of the week. This is Inside the Cards.
Inside the Cards is sponsored by Bud Light. Whenever there's a Cards game to watch, there's a Bud Light there.
Nice dish to Curry, and the left-handed finish. All right, welcome back to Inside the Cards. The play of the game this week comes from late in the second half in the win over Clemson. Jalen Withers, the defensive rebound here. Jared West is going to push it up to L. Ellis. He drives through the lane, gets it to Noah Locke. He doesn't settle for the jumper in the lane. He kicks it out to a wide-open Jared West for three. And just like that, the Cards go from up 1 to up 4. That was right in front of the bench. And, Coach, what stands out on that play, I think you can tell the players all have a purpose. Everybody, I mean, they're cutting, with some passion. They're looking for their open teammates. And the end result was fantastic.
Well, that's what you want. Those are the types of threes that you want, Kent. There's a willingness by every player to touch the ball on that possession to get the ball in the paint. And as I've said before, even earlier today, when the ball gets in the paint at least twice and it comes back out, generally those threes are going to be wide open. And that's what we have here. We push the ball up in transition.
And we see, like, L could have shot that shot right there.
Could have
shot right there.
He gets in the lane. Noah could have easily shot that one. He attacks the closeout. He gets in the lane. Again, 2 paint touches equals a wide open three from Jared West right in front of our bench. Those are the threes that you want. The basketball guys, I think they reward plays like that. And great to see Jordan Ward and have him back in the building as well.
And to be honest, I mean, actually, Elle and Noah were your two guys who were so hot in the second half there. Jared, I think that was probably his first, maybe his only 3 of the game.
Yeah.
But a huge shot, right?
Yeah, it just goes to show the sacrifice and the willingness by each one of these guys who touches the ball to make the right play. You know, we like to say that the go-to guy is the open guy. And right there, Jared West is the open guy. And although Noah and Elle had a good thing going, they were willing to share the sugar. And it resulted in a big 3 for us.
What about Jordan Wara? Mentioned he took some guys out to dinner and stuff to speak to the team. I mean, did that have some kind of an impact? A guy like that coming back?
We need to get Jordan back. I wish we can get him back in Winston-Salem today.
He's kind of busy.
Yeah, he's got a little something going on. But, no, he was great. He came in, he spoke to the guys after practice. He took a couple guys out to eat that evening. He was around the next day, obviously, for the game. And just having his presence around, I think, really motivated our guys to put on a good performance.
I did ask him, though. He didn't have his NBA championship ring on. You can't wear those things anymore. You have to have somebody come along with you to carry your hand.
Hopefully that's in a vault somewhere well protected.
That's right. Yeah. Keep that away. All right. The Cards were flying high last week, and we have the tape to prove it next in the Bud Light Dunk Zone. Stay with us for that and more as we continue on Inside the Cards.
The Dunk Zone, sponsored by Bud Light.
All right, it's time to head into the Bud Light Dunk Zone. We've got a pair for you. Coach Pegues, let's go dunk number 1 in the Bud Light Dunk Zone this week. Jalen Withers here misses, but JJ Traynor there to clean it up. And boy, I tell you what, this kid has just kind of stuck to it, waited his turn, and he's making the most of it.
Yeah, great to see JJ back out there. Like, again, he's earned the right to be out there, and with plays like that, you know, he's going to continue to get more minutes. He's a kid that can really get off the floor. He's already 6'9", long and athletic, and he's active around the basket. And so we need more of those. That's a great play by him.
Nice. He had a nice follow later in the game as well. Okay, for dunk number 2, we're going to go to Monday night in Chapel Hill. Jalen Withers with a nice save here, and then really L. Ellis makes this play, the outlet to Dre Davis for the dunk.
Yeah, great job by Jalen. Normally, you know, coaches don't want their guys to save the ball underneath their own basket. You know, I had a sense of trepidation when he did this, to be quite honest. But I think he knew where his teammates were. He throws it right to L. L does a good job of advancing the ball with the pass, has his head up, and Dre gets on the rim. And that's, you know, we need easy baskets like that as much as we can get them.
I feel like we've seen a little more bounce from Dre in the last couple of weeks. He had a couple of good dunks. Was it the Miami game where he had a nice two-handed dunk in the lane and a half-court set?
Yeah, Dre has what you call, you know, sneaky athleticism. He doesn't look like the most athletic kid, but he can certainly get off the floor. And we need him attacking the basket like he did in that last play. It's great for our offense when he does that.
And we need those dunks for the Bud Light Dunk Zone. Okay, up next on Inside the Cards, what's it going to take to get the road win tonight at Wake Forest? Coach Pegues gives us the Toyota keys to the game when we come back.
Here comes Malik Williams leading the break, the cross back to Williams, and the back.
The Keys to the Game is sponsored by Toyota.
All right, the Cards set to take on Wake Forest tonight in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Tip-off at 7 o'clock, a Saturday night game. Right now, time to get the Toyota Keys to the Game to this one. It'll be on the ACC network in Winston-Salem. And, Coach, you've already beaten this team once. What can you take from that game that you need to do again to beat them again?
Yeah, I thought that in the first game, we did a really good job of executing some of our set plays. Guys really shared the ball. We got a lot of paint touches. We were able to make some threes because the ball got in the lane first, and that has to continue for us tonight. You know, in addition to that, we did a really good job defending Alondis Williams, you know, again, one of the best guards in our league, and so that has to be something that we can repeat tonight. We have to be able to keep him out of the lane. Our ball screen defense has to be tight. We have to play with active hands to prevent him from throwing these strike passes for layups to his teammates. Jake LaRavia is also a very, very good and skilled post player that can make threes as well. We have to do the job on him. So it'll be a tall task. They're coming off a road loss. They feel the pressure, I'm sure. They need to get one, and, you know, we have to be ready to go from minute one.
Noah Locke, if we take a look at the video real quick, Noah Locke had a huge three late in the game. They were up one, as you see, a minute left, and Noah Locke, I barely had the thing in his hand, but that big three for your win in that first game.
Yeah, big shot from Noah there. That's a set play that we run for him, especially when he's hot, and, you know, it's a shot that he can make. You know, if you're a fan, you're looking at that like, man, that's a bad shot, but that's the shot that Noah has made.
If it goes, it's a good shot,
there you
Coach.
Go. You got
we'll see.
that right.
Jalen Withers could be a game time decision. We'll see if he's available tonight. But, Coach, thank you so much for joining us here on Inside the Cards.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, Kent.
Good luck the last week of the season. Three games to go, and we'll see you next week on the season finale of the show. Everybody have a great weekend.
Inside the Cards is sponsored by Bud Light. Whenever there's a Cards game to watch, there's a Bud Light there.